Trump administration is partnering with U.S. companies to fight against tariff evasion by Chinese exporters. U.S. lawmakers are introducing legislation that allows the U.S. government to take over lawsuits filed by American companies against foreign exporters for trade violations. Currently, U.S. companies are unable to seek immediate injunctions on transshipments violations in the federal courts, as they would have to first file allegations of trade violations with the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, and wait for its determination, which could take months to a year. Even after successful determination of trade violations, the Chinese companies would dissolve their shell companies to avoid penalties and start new ones. The proposed legislation will allow the U.S. government to intervene more promptly on trade violations. Bradford Muller, vice president of 124-year-old U.S. steel company, Charlotte Pipe and Foundry, said the 40% tariffs on transshipment imposed by the Trump administration is a welcome policy development, but enforcement is key. Muller said his company has been fighting unfair trade practices from Chinese exporters since China's accession to WTO in 2001. The Chinese exporters resorted to transshipment after the U.S. government imposed high duties on Chinese importers due to dumping cheap products enabled through Chinese state subsidies in the U.S. and globally. Two-thirds of CPB's investigations over the last 10 years involved transshipment violations from Chinese exporters who avoided U.S. duties by shipping goods to third-party countries, who then exported them to the U.S. without value add. The top countries used for transshipment included Southeast Asian countries such as Malaysia, South Korea, Thailand, and Vietnam. The Trump administration is working closely with the private sector, where industrial representatives provide input in real time on a weekly basis about what they see in the field and how their businesses are harmed. And lawmakers are seeking legislation to increase the penalty for trade violators, including barring the violator from exporting goods to the U.S.